Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Lenti Story Noni. Guys, thank you so much for all you've been doing on this channel. If this is your first time on this channel, please, thank you, you're welcome. Thank you for joining us today. Okay, so today I bring us another interesting tutorial on how to make a keyhole design. And this keyhole design, you can make multiple keyhole designs. All right, now so with this fabric, I've shown us an example of what we are making. This is a keyhole design. Now if you want a single keyhole design, the thing is to use your lining to turn out the keyhole when you are done drafting it, okay? But if you want to make multiple keyhole designs, it's difficult and nearly impossible to use your lining to turn all the keyholes. And let's say for instance you want about 3 to 4, 5 keyholes. Okay, you see that your lining will be able to turn this, okay? So I want to give us a beautiful detailed explanation on how to achieve your multiple keyholes. So at the back of my fabric, the fabric I use, for example, you can see how the back is, so you don't have to worry about it fraying, whatever. So even if you're not using lining to turn, you have this effect. And I use the different fabric just to show us what I have done here. Okay, so for the course of this tutorial, I'll be using a contrasting thread. Okay, just note that when you're making yours, you need to use a matching thread. I use the contrasting thread so that you can see what I did here. And also behind this fabric, the fabric behind should be the main fabric of the material you're working with, okay? But for clarity purposes and for the sake of this tutorial, I used a contrasting fabric. All right, so for this keyhole design, you need a piece of paper and your fabric, okay, the fabric you're working on. Okay, so this is what I want to use. Then before you start, you make sure you iron it properly and iron the middle, because you want the first keyhole to be at the center of your fabric before you place the other keyholes. So this is my basic bodice pattern, just for the sake of this video tutorial. Okay, so keep it aside for now. Remember I said you need a piece of paper. So first things first, you could use what's it called, you could use cardboard, you can use your normal pattern paper, you could use stay, but it has to be a very strong stay, like the hard stay. All right, so I'll just fold over the paper into two. All right, so when you fold into two, you make sure you have a starting point that is at least 1 inch away from the mark. Then you decide how long you want the keyhole to be. So let's do 3.5 for instance. So 3.5 inches. So depending on how big or wide you want your keyhole to be. So there is no particular formula for this, for what I'm about to make now. So there's no particular formula for it. You just draw a shape like this. Okay, so now it's also dependent on what you want to make. You could do a heart design, you could do just a circle design, but I want to have this oval shape. Okay, it's really beautiful on keyholes. All right, so this is just the design I have made. So you can have it smaller. Okay, you can have it smaller, you can have it bigger, depending on what you want to make. All right, so after this point, you also need to make an ending line, okay, that's also at least 1 inch away, just like what we've done here. All right, so I cut out now. I want you to watch the way I'm cutting it. Let me just cut out the excess paper. All right, so now I'm going to cut through like this. Okay, so this is what I've cut out. We don't need this, but I want to show us this is the oval shape, and this is what we are looking forward to achieving on our keyhole. All right, so I'm just going to make an allowance of at least ½ inch around this. So if you think if it's difficult for you, you can actually trace the ½ inch. Okay. Alright, so this is the keyhole design we are working on. So when you've cut out this, you need a piece of fabric, a little piece of fabric to, you know, cover it up. From this is the fabric. Okay, this fabric now, this is this. Okay, so this is it when it's already done, but this is what you look like before you start making it. So ideally you're supposed to use the same fabric you're using, but because this is a tutorial, I want us to see clearly, so I'm using different fabrics, okay, just so that it will show clearly on what I'm doing. All right, so you want to sew this fabric round the edges of the paper. All right, just sew it round the edges like this. I really hope you're seeing this. So I'll start from this side. So like I said, you can use a cardboard, okay? So you want to do this gently. Okay, just to make sure you are covering round the paper. Sorry, the machine is shaking my table, so this video might be shaking. Just bear with me for the time being. Right, so gently, you can see how much time I'm taking to just make sure I wrap it round. So this is why you need a strong paper, because if the paper is light, it's going to be the fabric is going to be crumpling the paper, and you won't get the shape you want. Okay, so I did not mention that if you're making more than one keyhole design, you need to make sure that all the keyholes are of the same measurement, okay? Except you just want to, you know, get creative with it and make one bigger and the other one smaller, okay? It's your choice. All right. Okay, so I'm done sewing around the keyhole. So what I'm going to do is to cut out this the excess fabric around it. Okay, just make sure that you leave at least ½ inch. Remember, it's just to cover around the design so that you don't have your rough edges coming out. You would see the reason for this when we are done. Alright, so this is what we have left. You can see the inside. This my keyhole is really very big. Okay, so this is it. Now we move over to our fabric. Alright, so now this is the back of the fabric. You want to make sure it's on the right side. This is the wrong side. You want to make sure that this is on the right side. Okay, then you bring your shape, your keyhole design. So what you do is to fold it into two, just to determine the middle of the keyhole design. So I'm just folding it into two like this, and use my marker to determine where the midpoint is, so that I will place it exactly on the middle of my fabric, exactly where I have this iron, the crease line from my iron. So this is the middle. Now for your neckline, you can decide to turn in with your lining, bias, whatever. We're not talking about necklines now, it's just the keyhole design. Okay, so you place this on it, then sew round, by the time you cut this out. Okay, so let me trim it out a little more so that you see what we are doing. So once you place it, you could place a pin on it. So by the time you place it this way, you're going to sew round this open part now. Okay, just sew round on it. After the paper inside, you're going to sew round this way. So I'm going to place the middle point once again. I want to make sure I have the middle point, which is here. So I'm going to sew round it. Sorry, the camera might be shaking now because my machine vibrates a lot. Okay, so remember, I'm starting from the middle, after the paper. All right, so I want to pull it out a little so that we can see. So remember, we're just using a contrasting thread just for the sake of this tutorial, but please make sure you're using a matching thread for your own design. So I'm just sewing around it. The camera is shaky because the table is shaking, so please just bear with me. Okay, so I'm done sewing it, as you can see. So on the wrong side, you can see the oval shape. Okay, the shape we want for our keyhole. So on the wrong side, you can see it clearly. All right, so what you do is to pinch the two fabrics together and cut. So we want to trim out the inside. Okay, so I'm just going to trim around this part I've sewn now, making sure to leave at least 1/4 of an inch or 1/2 an inch away from the line. Okay, just cut it out. You want to be careful so that you don't cut on any part you've sewn. So see, as I'm rotating my fabric and trying to trim out Alright, so I'm done trimming out the design. You can see the middle part is open now. So I'm just going to notch around it. Okay, just notch it all around. Make sure you don't cut through your seam line. So you need to take your time to do it accurately, just so that everything will turn out fine. Okay, so I'm done notching it out now, so I'll just pull it all inside. Okay, I'll just pull everything inside to the wrong side. Okay, gently pull everything to the wrong side. Okay, so I've successfully pulled them all to the wrong side. So at this point you could press on it so that it's going to lay very flat. Okay, so this is the outside, so you can see the keyhole design. So if you notch it properly, it won't be squeezed. Okay, so but if you feel it's not properly notched, you can go inside and notch it properly. But when you iron it, it takes care of everything. All right, so around this point I want to show us a technique. If you don't want to have the stitch line around your seam, around your keyhole, you could use hemming gum to hem this to the fabric all around. You can use hemming gum with your iron. Okay, so I'm working with generator now because there's no light, so plugging my iron is just going to make a mess of what I'm doing. So I'm just going to stitch it round. Okay, so in case you don't want to use a hemming gum, you can stitch it round and make sure you are using a matching thread. All right, so time for the table to shake again. So this is the keyhole design. Remember, this is just a little fabric, and the width or how big your keyhole is determined by what you want. I just have to make this big so that we can see what we can achieve. So this one is smaller, this is bigger, you can see. So depending on what you want, so I just needed to make a really big one so that we can see. So I'm just going to add two smaller ones maybe around here just for us to see, and I'll be doing that off camera. Just follow the same procedure as I have done here. So right now you can iron it out, so you can see the wrong side. So this is the wrong side, and it's super clean, okay, because we hemmed around the paper with fabric, okay. So you don't have rough edges, or you don't have your fabric fraying. All right, so that is how the inside looks like. So you can now go ahead and give it a good press, and that is your keyhole design. Alright guys, so I've gone ahead to make two more keyhole designs, okay, and it all came out really lovely. Although one is looking like two eyes, one big mouth. Alright, but I just had to change the sizes of the keyholes so that you can know that you could do it small, you could do it smaller, you can do it small, smaller, smallest. Alright, they're not of the same sizes anyways, so you can place it wherever you want, okay. You can go with just one at the middle, you can do different designs, you can make them the same sizes and place them on the sides of your neckline or something, okay. So this is the inside, okay. You can see it is cleanly finished. There are no rough edges poking out, okay. So I haven't ironed this, but when you're done, just make sure to give it a very good press. You could also steam press so that all these places will lay really flat, okay. So you could now attach the back bodies and rock your design. So it's pretty easy. You can do this in less than 10 minutes, and I actually wasted this much time because I am teaching, okay. So I need us to follow the step-by-step procedures, okay. So if you found this video helpful, please like, share this video, subscribe to this channel, and thank you so much. Thank you for joining us today. I love you guys. Bye.